breaking news now. The indictment against Sean Diddy Combs has just been unsealed. Combs is being charged with racketeering conspiracy, alleging he ran an enterprise that he engaged in forced labor or kidnapping, arson, and other crimes. He's also charged with trafficking by force.
I speak to him all the time.
Yeah. What's his reaction?
We knew this was coming. I mean, he moved to New York, as I think some of you guys know. We brought him to New York about 2 weeks ago because we knew this day was going to come, and it's here.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
You guys, today is the day we've been waiting for almost a year. Diddy has been charged and taken into custody. I know you've heard all there is to know about Diddy's outrageous antics, but I promise you'll be sick to your stomach when you hear the graphic details from this indictment. What's even more outrageous, though, is Diddy's behavior. As if we hadn't all seen the footage of Diddy reaching out to touch Cassie in 4K, shameless lawyers are back at it, saying that he's an innocent man unfairly targeted by these accusations. Besides, there are rumors that Diddy is preparing to turn informant and bring his famous friends down with him, with Jay-Z reportedly being the first person on the list. So buckle up, because this mess is deeper than anyone could have imagined. Let's get started.
I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life. And he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges.
Oh, it's official, everyone. On Monday, September 16th, nearly exactly a year after his ex-girlfriend Cassie dropped her shocking complaint and started the legal process, Diddy Combs was finally taken into custody after a slew of lawsuits alleging him of sexual assault, domestic violence, and much more. Attorney Damon Williams confirmed to NBC News that Diddy was arrested by federal agents on September 16th, based on a sealed indictment from the Southern District of New York. However, the indictment has since been unsealed, and let me tell you the details. Diddy was taken into custody at the Park Hyatt Hotel on West 57th Street, where he had moved a few weeks prior to await his arrest. Quite horrifying, this is what the indictment said. Che against the United States of America, the indictment goes on to describe this business empire as a criminal enterprise whose members engaged in and attempted to engage in a variety of crimes. Diddy claims that it begins with count 1, which relates to conspiracy and details how, for decades, he mistreated, threatened, and coerced women and others around him in order to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. They claim that in order to do this, he relied on the resources and influence of the many business empires that he led and controlled. Forced labor trafficking, abduction, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The document goes on to detail Diddy's widespread and ongoing pattern of mistreating women, alleging that this mistreatment was occasionally verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. According to the indictment, Diddy coerced women into participating in meticulously planned acts with men who were former commercial employees, as Cassie's lawsuit makes clear. Diddy would refer to these acts as freak shows. Additionally, Diddy is accused of arranging for women and former employees to travel to his place of business. According to the indictment, Diddy used violence and intimidation, in addition to providing them with drugs, to control their careers and take advantage of his financial support to get what they wanted. The indictment goes on to state that Diddy was seen punching, kicking, and pulling Cassie, as well as hurling things at her on the hotel surveillance film. It also contends that Diddy's physical abuse of women was frequent and well-known.
The surveillance footage that was captured inside of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 allegedly shows Combs assaulting then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway. A now-settled lawsuit filed by Ventura claimed that she was trying to leave the hotel after a drunken Combs punched her. The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the hall, throwing her to the ground, and then repeatedly kicking her.
Additionally, the indictment claims that Diddy's physical hostility didn't only target the women he dated but also included his staff. Regarding the ring claim, witnesses and others are told in the indictment that Diddy concealed and enabled his and commercial ex-partnerships via the employment of his many companies and staff members. According to the indictment, Diddy and his accomplices, both known and unknown, were involved in a number of offenses, including this one, which began at least in or around 2008. They were members of the Combs Enterprise, also known as the Enterprise, forced labor trafficking in XD. According to the indictment, members of Diddy's criminal enterprise operated as a cohesive unit to further the goals of the Combs enterprise, utilizing interstate transportation for prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution. Illegal substance offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and destruction of justice. The grand jury argues in the indictment that the enterprise, led by Diddy, affected both interstate and foreign commerce. Indictment then goes on to describe means and methods that the Combs enterprise used to fulfill Diddy's twisted orders. This included intimidating and luring women victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Then, according to the indictment, Diddy would proceed to use threats of force and coercion to cause victims to have prolonged sex with male commercial ex-workers, often referred to as freak-offs, are defined in the indictment as elaborately staged, planned, and personally pleasurable acts that Diddy organized, directed, and frequently documented electronically. In addition, Diddy is accused of arranging the transportation of former employees both domestically and abroad in order to facilitate his freak-off sessions. The indictment claims that Diddy would frequently give victims a variety of controlled substances during these sessions, partly to keep them submissive and obedient, and that he would keep the videos he took of the sessions after the victims gave their consent. After the sessions, Diddy and his victims were allegedly given IV fluids to help them recover from the physical strain and substance use. It should be recalled that Diddy would frequently discuss using IV fluids to recover from a night of regular partying. In fact, a few years ago, he even appeared late on The Ellen Show.
Boy, oh boy, Ellen, I love you. I know you didn't ask where I've just come from, but I just got off the plane. I'm on tour. I just did 5 nights in a row. I walked in with an IV.
I know. I walked back there and he's literally holding an IV. You just took that out yourself?
Yeah, let me get to the story real quick. I know it's your show and everything, but I walked out with an IV and they said, thank you. They said that I would have to stay. I said, no, I have to go. I said I could pull that out myself. So I walk in and I'm talking to Ellen. I have the IV and then the blood is going down. I start to panic. I go into the bathroom and I pulled it out myself and I just made it here and I love you.
I love you too. You didn't even have time to tie your shoes.
Time to tie my shoes. Your people are incredible in the back. They're like, you'll be all right, but you have to go on stage right now. So I'm here. And I usually come color coordinated, so that was all to explain why I had a blue bandage on like that. And I wasn't color coordinated.
You look fantastic. You look really great. And I want to, first of all, can we talk about, you went to Beyonce's birthday party.
Yes.
Which I'm very jealous of. I don't know her, so I shouldn't have been invited. But let's show a picture of you at, was it like a 70s themed birthday party? Or was that just a look that you decided to go with that night?
It was a 70s themed Soul Train party, but this is me once every first week of the month on a Friday night. That's my theme. You know, in life you have to keep things fresh, so.
Yeah. What are you holding there?
I'm holding my package.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
Hey. I just lost a lot of blood back there.
You did.
I did.
Wait, do you want water or do you want a beverage? I have a glass for you too.
What do you want?
This is the tequila that you gave me with my name on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is DeLeon tequila. This is the next level. I think I need a shot right now to shake everything up.
Come on, you're strong. You can do that.
The recent indictment against Sean Diddy Combs paints a deeply troubling picture of alleged criminal activities facilitated by his employees. According to the legal documents, a network of Diddy's staff was reportedly engaged in orchestrating what the indictment refers to as freak-off sessions that involved a disturbing array of illegal activities. These employees were allegedly responsible for securing hotel accommodations, meticulously stocking these rooms with supplies necessary for these encounters, and even cleaning up afterward to minimize any damage caused during the events. The indictment details the nature of the supplies prepared for these gatherings, which included not only baby oil and lubricants, but also controlled substances, extra linens, and lighting to set the scene. This level of organization suggests a systemic operation, implicating multiple individuals in the planning and execution of these acts. Furthermore, it is alleged that Diddy went to great lengths to ensure that these activities continued. His staff was reportedly instructed to arrange travel logistics for both victims and commercial sex workers, providing transportation to and from the locations of these events. Additionally, they were tasked with resupplying Diddy with the necessary materials and delivering significant amounts of cash to pay the commercial sex workers involved. There were even allegations of scheduling the delivery of IV fluids, indicating a disregard for the health and safety of those involved. The severity of the situation escalated when Homeland Security executed a raid on Diddy's properties in March. During this operation, law enforcement reportedly seized a disturbing array of supplies, including over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant alongside various illegal substances. The sheer volume of these items raises serious questions about the extent and scale of the alleged operations. But the indictment goes beyond mere logistics. It presents a harrowing narrative of victimization. It claims that Diddy subjected individuals to physical, emotional, and verbal mistreatment to coerce them into participating in these freak-offs. The indictment alleges that he maintained control over these victims through a combination of intimidation and manipulation, including threats of physical harm. This level of control extended to tracking their whereabouts, dictating their physical appearance, and monitoring their medical records, which underscores a deeply disturbing pattern of abuse. Moreover, the document describes how Diddy allegedly supplied victims with controlled substances during these sessions, creating an environment where manipulation and exploitation were rampant. Testimonies in the indictment suggest that he resorted to physical violence, using methods that included hitting, kicking, throwing objects, and even dragging victims by their hair. Such actions allegedly resulted in injuries that would take days or weeks to heal, painting a grim picture of the aftermath of these encounters. Adding another layer of menace, the indictment claims that members of Diddy's entourage, referred to as the Combs enterprise, carried firearms. In several instances, it is alleged that Diddy himself brandished weapons, contributing to an atmosphere of fear and intimidation surrounding these activities. This behavior not only highlights the potential for physical harm, but also signals a broader culture of violence and control. These allegations have staggering consequences. If proven true, they would indicate a calculated and systematic approach to exploiting vulnerable individuals, facilitated by a network of enablers who acted under Diddy's directive. The indictment raises serious concerns about the culture of power and abuse within celebrity circles, as well as the lengths to which individuals may go to maintain their control over others. In summary, the indictment against Diddy reveals a chilling narrative filled with claims of exploitation, violence, and manipulation. It sheds light on the disturbing dynamics at play in a world often glamorized yet marred by the dark realities of abuse and control. As the legal proceedings unfold, the public will undoubtedly be watching closely, hoping for accountability in the face of these serious allegations. Intimidate and at others, including his victims and witnesses, and during those raids back in March, the feds reportedly confiscated 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. According to the indictment, various employees witnessed Diddy using physical force against his victims. But they never intervened. Instead, they concealed his crimes and even assisted. In November 2023, Sean Diddy Combs found himself at the center of a storm of allegations when Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against him, igniting a wave of public scrutiny that would reveal troubling details about his conduct. The lawsuit claimed that Diddy employed extreme measures to silence witnesses and victims of his alleged misconduct, attempting to bribe them to remain quiet and avoid contacting law enforcement about their experiences. The claims suggested a systematic effort to intimidate and manipulate those who dared to speak out. According to the legal documents, Diddy and an alleged accomplice pursued victims with relentless determination, allegedly resorting to tactics that included both kidnapping and arson. These actions painted a disturbing picture of a man willing to go to extreme lengths to evade accountability. As victims attempted to escape or distance themselves from the situation, Diddy reportedly utilized a variety of methods to keep them in line, further intensifying the atmosphere of fear surrounding them. One particularly alarming aspect of the allegations involved Diddy's use of phone calls to his victims and witnesses. He purportedly spun elaborate fictional narratives to mislead them about the events in question, trying to shape their perceptions and control their testimonies. However, the indictment claims that at least 2 of these conversations were recorded, raising serious questions about his attempts to manipulate the truth. The legal repercussions for Diddy escalated as the indictment outlined how he and his associates allegedly violated federal laws that affect both domestic and international commerce. The charges describe a calculated conspiracy in which Diddy and his team knowingly conspired to break these laws, working in unison to execute their plans while evading justice. This marked just the first count in a series of serious indictments against him, suggesting a pattern of behavior that could lead to more significant consequences. As the details of the case continue to unfold, the implications for Diddy and his legacy are profound. With the spotlight firmly on him, the public is left to grapple with the complexities of celebrity culture and the potential for abuse of power. As this legal battle progresses, many are left wondering about the broader impact on victims who have felt unheard and unprotected, and whether this will serve as a catalyst for change in how such allegations are addressed in the future. Refers to trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and it claims that from at least in or about 2009 up to in or about 2018, Diddy knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion. The allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have cast a long shadow over his career, as the indictment outlines 3 felony counts related to sex trafficking. The charges assert that from 2009 to 2024, Diddy knowingly transported women, including victims of exploitation and commercial sex workers, with the explicit intent for them to engage in prostitution. This legal battle is expected to be a significant chapter in Diddy's life, and it has garnered considerable media attention, reflecting the seriousness of the accusations. In a statement from his attorney, Mark Agliolo, Diddy's response to the arrest was one of defiance. Agliolo announced that Diddy intends to plead not guilty, emphasizing his commitment to fighting the charges with all of his energy and all of his might. This declaration highlights Diddy's determination to maintain his innocence amidst the swirling allegations. Agliolo expressed confidence in their legal strategy, suggesting that they believe the evidence against Diddy is either insufficient or flawed. The context of these allegations is particularly significant, considering Diddy's previous legal entanglements, including a high-profile lawsuit brought by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, which she dropped in November 2023. That case had already stirred public intrigue and speculation about Diddy's personal life and relationships. Cassie's decision to withdraw her lawsuit was viewed by many as a potential indication of deeper issues, raising questions about the dynamics of their relationship and the pressures faced by those who come forward with allegations against powerful figures. The timeline of events suggests a troubling pattern. From the onset of the allegations in 2009 to the present, the claims against Diddy paint a portrait of a man who allegedly exploited his influence for personal gain at the expense of vulnerable women. The seriousness of sex trafficking charges underscores a broader societal issue, reflecting ongoing conversations about accountability for those in positions of power. As the legal proceedings unfold, the public will be closely watching how Diddy and his legal team navigate these challenges. With a plea of not guilty expected and a vigorous defense strategy on the horizon, Diddy aims to counter the accusations that threaten not only his career but also his public image. The outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications, not just for Diddy but also for the wider discourse on celebrity culture and accountability in the entertainment industry. Diddy immediately called her a liar and his lawyers accused her of looking for a quick payday, but when that hotel video footage dropped in May, he shared that video on Instagram admitting his behavior was inexcusable and claiming he was going through a dark time when that attack occurred. But Diddy never used the word sorry once in the video or even mentioned Cassie by name, and he later deleted the whole thing from his IG page. So yeah, to sum it all up, Diddy is cooked all but according to some reports, Diddy is now to snitch on some of his famous buddies and names that are being thrown. In the mix are Jay-Z, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Will Smith. Well, let me know your thoughts on Diddy's arrest and the charges he's facing. How do you think the trial will play out? And do you think this will snowball further to involve some of Diddy's celebrity friends? Please leave a comment below, and be sure to watch the following video.